You ever just look at someone like Einstein or Da Vinci or Marie Curie and just wonder, how? I mean, how does a mind even do that? We tend to think of genius as this bolt of lightning, right? Some rare gift you're either born with or you're not. But what if that's not the whole story? What if their brilliance wasn't something they were given, but something they built, brick by brick? Today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the actual habits of genius.
So that brings us to the age-old question, is it nature or is it nurture? And let's be honest, most of us kind of lean towards nature. We figure it's like a genetic lottery, and only a few people hold the winning ticket. But what if that entire assumption is just completely off base?
I want you to really think about this for a second. What if that incredible intellectual power we admire so much isn't some magical, unattainable trait? What if it's actually the result of a specific, learnable, and repeatable process? A set of habits that literally rewires how you think, and that anyone, yeah, that means you too, can start building.
To really get what's going on, we first have to tear down the myth. We have to look past this romantic idea of a sudden flash of inspiration and see the actual machinery that's working behind the scenes. Because once you understand the method, well, the magic suddenly starts to look a lot more achievable.
And this slide right here, this really cuts to the heart of it. The myth makes genius sound like a eureka moment that just appears out of thin air. But the reality is so much more empowering. It's a process. It's about consistency. And that leads to this huge realization. Genius isn't a noun, it's a verb. It's not something you are, it's something you do.
So, where do we even start? What's the first gear in this whole machine? Well, it all kicks off right here with habit number 1, insatiable curiosity. And this isn't just about being kind of interested in things. No, this is the engine. It's the fuel that drives every single breakthrough.
It's all about that relentless drive. See, people who have this trait are never ever satisfied with just knowing that something works. They have this deep, burning need to understand why it works and how it could work better or differently. They don't just look at the surface, they're digging for the source code underneath it all.
And this is the absolute game changer. Most people might memorize a fact, like E=mc², but someone with insatiable curiosity immediately asks, wait, but why? What does that equation actually tell us about the fabric of reality itself? They question the very ground they stand on. And that, right there, is where real discovery begins.
But okay, curiosity by itself isn't quite enough. All the information you gather needs some kind of framework to actually be useful. And that brings us to the second habit, developing a systems view. It's all about the ability to zoom out and see the whole forest, not just the individual trees.
You know, Steve Jobs hit the nail on the head with this one. Genius isn't about becoming a master of one tiny, isolated field. It's about collecting a whole bunch of different dots from all over the place, and then having the vision to see the pattern that connects them, a pattern that nobody else has even noticed yet.
So what does this look like in the real world? Well, it's the person studying biology who borrows ideas from computer networking to understand an ecosystem. It's the chef who uses principles from chemistry to create a totally new flavor combination. They are always building bridges between what look like separate islands of knowledge because they know that's where the real innovation happens.
All right, so you've got the curiosity to go out and collect the dots. You've got the systems view to connect them into a map. But how do you actually become a master of navigating that map? Well, that requires our third habit, deliberate practice. And let me be super clear, this has nothing to do with just mindlessly grinding for 10,000 hours. It's about how you use every single minute of your practice time.
This is the 4-step playbook for building real mastery. You don't just play a song over and over again hoping to get better. No, you isolate that one chord progression that's giving you trouble. You focus on just that one thing with laser-like concentration. You record yourself to get immediate, honest feedback. And then you refine your approach and do it again and again, always pushing right up against the edge of what you can do. That's how skill is forged.
So we've laid out the 3 core habits, but here's the kicker. The real secret, the actual engine of genius, isn't in any single one of them. The magic happens in the synergy. It's all about how they work together, creating this powerful, accelerating loop.
And here's what that loop looks like in action. Your curiosity makes you hunt for new information, new dots. Your systems view helps you connect those dots into a coherent mental map. And then your deliberate practice makes you an absolute pro at using that map. And the best part? Mastering a skill just sparks new, deeper questions, and the whole cycle starts all over again, spiraling up to a higher and higher level of understanding.
So the bottom line is this. This loop changes absolutely everything. Learning stops being this passive thing where you just memorize stuff other people have figured out. It transforms you from just a consumer of information into an active creator of knowledge, of understanding, and of mastery.
So, there you have it. We've pulled back the curtain, we've laid out the method. But here's the thing. Knowing the path is not the same as walking the path. The power isn't in just knowing this stuff, it's in the doing. So the only real question left is the one you see right now. Which piece of this engine are you going to start working on first? Your curiosity, your systems view, or your deliberate practice? The choice is all yours.